Hi. Today we're going to be talking about from this A New Vision for America, the Libertarian Party. We're going to be talking about their section entitled "Defending America Against Foreign Threats." A lot of this goes back with 9/11, and soon I should probably do another video on this, but I'm going to post this one thing, a link to, it's called the top 40, let me bring this up real quick. It's called the top 40 reasons to doubt the official story of September 11th, 2001. But since that's a different video, that's a kind of a different subject. I might do that at a different point. But for today, I'm just going to stick to the A New Vision for America, their section titled Defending America Against Foreign Threats. It says here in this article that after the devastating terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001, America declared war on terrorism, launching a retaliatory attack in Afghanistan against the terrorists responsible. Since then, we have strayed from the original mission of hunting down terrorists who directly threaten the United States. Our military has become overextended with troop deployments around the world, which do not make us safer. The Libertarian Party proposes a smarter, more effective strategy for defending America against foreign threats. A foreign policy of non-intervention and free trade will lead to a safer, more prosperous America. I'm sorry, I'm just pretty much going to be reading this word for word, but no, that's what I'm going to be doing for this video. To achieve a foreign policy that will enable us to maintain a strong, vigilant defense while significantly reducing our military spending, we will 1. Deploy troops only in the case of direct attack. An immediate step toward ending terrorism is using military deployment as a defensive act only. Military intervention and the unprecedented use of preemptive warfare serve as the instigators for most terrorist attacks, motivating terrorists to attack the United States or our interests. September 11th, masterminded by Osama bin Laden, is the perfect example of this scenario, as these devastating attacks were a twisted result of our military presence in Saudi Arabia after the Gulf War. So basically, if Osama bin Laden was the one who masterminded it, a lot of people believe it was due to our presence in Saudi Arabia after the first Gulf War. Their next point is to withdraw the United States from outdated alliances. These obsolete military alliances have proven to be expensive, wasteful, and unproductive. The United States should first start by withdrawing from NATO and close all U.S. military bases in Europe. Wealthy nations such as Germany and France can easily provide for their own defense. So basically, at one time, like we're the Germany, after World War II, we stationed U.S. soldiers there, but now they should be able to provide for their own defense, yet we're still over there. That's just one example. And then their third point is to remove barriers to trade. International trade is good for consumers, business, and American workers, with nearly 20% of our economy now being fueled by trade with other nations. By contrast, trade restrictions such as tariffs and quotas reduce our standards of living. There's another benefit to trade. Nations that trade with each other rarely go to war, primarily because commerce fosters communication and cooperation. That's why the United States should take the lead in removing barriers to trade. So this is the Libertarians' view on defending America against foreign attacks. Since this didn't really take me as long, I think I'm going to go ahead and go into something else, I guess. I'll admit I'm a 9/11 truther, and a lot of people think that 9/11 truthers are, about, sometimes they get labeled as crazy, or maybe they say that the government is the one that, caused 9/11. They're really more about asking questions, because there are many questions that never got answered that day. And, maybe the government did it, maybe they didn't. We can't rule it out. And, there has been times where, like, for example, do some research on the Gulf of Tonkin, because now it's admitted that, this event never happened, which led us to Vietnam. It's admitted by the military that it never happened. That led, millions of Americans to die in Vietnam, not to mention the Vietnamese and other people. So I guess I wouldn't really put it past them. But, we're more about asking questions that never got answered. There were many, many, many questions that never got answered, such as, what happened to the black boxes. And if you're unfamiliar with this, planes have these things that are called black boxes, which are, they're able to withstand just about anything. And they basically, this is important because they record, anything that may have came to the plane from the ground. They basically record, the flight logs, and they, what languages that may have been spoken, and other things like that. Well, in any plane crash, they've always recovered the black boxes, except for the 9/11 planes that crashed. I mean, there's been planes that have crashed in the middle of the ocean, and we've been able to recover the black boxes. So, why is it for the first time in history, before and after the event, we've always recovered the black boxes, except for this one time? And it should have been something we should have been able to recover. I mean, that's a huge reason to question what happened and to suspect could there have been foul play. Now I'm not going to go through all these reasons. I'm going to post a link to 911truth.org. But let me just go through some reasons. For example, insider training, which is number 11. Unknown speculations allegedly used foreknowledge of the September 11th events to profit on many markets internationally, including but not limited to put options placed to short sell the two airlines, WTC tenants and WTC insurance companies in Chicago and London. B. In addition, suspicious monetary transactions worth hundreds of millions were conducted through offices at the Twin Towers during the actual attack. Initial reports on these trades were suppressed and forgotten, and only years later did the 9/11 Commission and SEC provide a partial but untenable explanation for only a small number of transactions, covering only the airline but put options through the Chicago Board of Exchange. Let's see. What's another good one? I'm only going to go through a few of these. I encourage you to go to this site yourself and look at it, but I'm only going to be going through a few of these. Let's see. Here's another good reason, number 30. The need for a new Pearl Harbor. Principles in U.S. foreign policy under the current Bush administration, including Cheney, Rumsfeld, Wolfowitz, Pearl, and others, have been instrumental in developing long-running plans for worldwide military hegemony, including invasion of the Middle East, dating back to the Ford, Reagan, and Bush Sr. administrations. They reiterated these plans in the late 1990s as members of the Project for a New American Century and stated a clear intent to invade Iraq for the purpose of regime change. After 9/11, they lost no time in their attempt to tie Iraq to the attacks. I guess I'll go through one more. What's a good one? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's so many good ones on these 40, so it's hard to narrow it down to just a few of these. Okay, here's a good one, number 7. What caused the collapse of the third skyscraper, WTC 7? There were 3 towers that fell in New York that day. The 2 twin towers plus another building called WTC 7, which not too many people realize of the third one, WTC 7, which was not in fact hit by a plane. Were the twin towers in WTC 7 brought down by explosives? And also, there's some links that they put here, such as see the case for demolitions. The websites WTC7.net and 9/11 Research WTC7.net, and the influential article by physicist Stephen Jones. And also, it encourages you to see number 16 and 24. I'll just go ahead and skip down to 16 and 24. 16. Disposing of the crime scene. The rapid and illegal scrapping of the WTC ruins at Ground Zero disposed of almost all the structural steel indispensable to any investigation of the collapse mechanics. See also item number 23 below. Number 23. Spitzer Redux. Elliot Spitzer, Attorney General of the New York State, snubbed pleas by New York citizens to open a 9/11 as a criminal case, and they have a link, justicefor911.org. Spitzer also refused to allow his employee, former 9/11 Commission staff Diedrich Snell, to testify to the Congress about his role in keeping Abel Danger entirely out of the 9/11 Commission report. And finally, I think this will be the last one I'm going to go through. NIST omissions. After the destruction of the WTC structural steel, the official Twin Towers collapse investigation was left with almost no forensic evidence and thus could only provide dubious computer models of an ultimately unprovocable hypothesis. It failed to even test for the possibility of explosives. Why not clear this up? So basically, there's a lot of questions that people that have been haven't been answered. It's my understanding that some of the biggest people who have asked these questions are the people who were either victims, who got out, who were able to survive the tower collapses, or family members. So, So anyway, I encourage you to look it up. Do some research. Do some research on your own. Come to your own conclusions. Just don't believe what I'm saying, but don't just believe what I'm saying, but also don't believe what the government puts out there also. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Take care, and God bless you all.